Well, good morning and Happy New Year. It's January 4th. It's Tuesday. I think in that last video I left for y'all, I said by the 3rd, no later than Tuesday the 4th, I'd get videos up for you. So, surprise! Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I've got a plethora of videos to put up for you. This one's going to be brief. I'm going to let the videos speak for themselves, but I'm going to tell you right away, I'm going to spoil some of it and tell you that I didn't race. We didn't run the kart in the race. Had some carburetor issues. We could not overcome them. Maybe I wasn't willing to overcome them. The track was rough as a cob. I had a banging headache. I'm fat. I was uncomfortable. So we vacationed while we were there and helped a lot of other people get their karts squared away and running. So it was just as fulfilling as far as I'm concerned. The racing was icing on the cake. It was really a vacation for us. I know I kind of made a big deal about championship stuff. Thanks, Darren, for kind of throwing it. He didn't throw it in my face. He just kind of throw it at me like, oh, hey, you're not going to race. That kind of screws your championship aspirations. He said it with a smile on his face, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. The whole point about the championship thing was finally it's a four race gig, right? And finally the everyday guy can afford to travel to 3 of the 4 races. So I'm kind of getting off base, but we bumped into Pops and Darren Cupperson down there. Those fellas. Obviously Pops especially, but everybody down there, we're praying for you. Lost Mom Cupperson, and hard on the family leading up to it. When somebody's getting weak and losing their spirit, slowing down, and you got to kind of watch the decline. It's difficult. I went through it with both my parents, died in the same year, just maybe 6 months apart. So. We got a boom boom. We got a combination punch that year, So we've been there. I know it. So we're praying for y'all. We love you guys, and good seeing you, Pops, down there talking carburetors, because we had carburetor issue. That part of the trip was good. We got a quick little clip with Wild Bill. Our buddy Wild Bill was on in the garage. Me and Rich helped him get his brake shimming correct, so his right and left front wheels would brake at the same time because his air gaps were off a little bit. We did the same thing with Todd Lorang and got his twin engine kart brakes straightened out. He had other problems, and me and Rich kind of ran him through trying to get him out for practice and the whole 9 yards on the first day of racing, knowing that we weren't gonna race. We weren't even gonna use our race for practice. Because one, I was worried about hurting that very expensive modification that we just sent the engine out to be done. And 2, knowing the bit of running I did get, that the engine is super duper fast, man. I mean, super fast. Couldn't be happier with the money we spent at SwedeTech. So thanks to Rennie out there at SwedeTech. He did an awesome job. I expected nothing less. The big volume pipe, I think, is a killer piece. I got to believe all of that is talking. We just need to get this carburetor squared up. And not getting laps in October killed me. Just killed me. We'd have known we had an issue and could have, Bob was there. Bob's the old vintage kart guy. He's been around a million years. Sorry, Bob. He's been around a long time, been around a lot of go-karts, a lot of different types of carburetors and motors, different fuels and stuff. And he's got a suggestion of what we could do. And if we were at Grattan turning laps, Bob would have been there, and he probably would have said, just let me in there with a screwdriver and a pair of cutters, Robert. I'll fix this thing for you right now. And maybe we'd have been ahead of the game. It wouldn't have made the track down there any smoother. Even the oval, folks, had a cheese grater effect. I actually felt like all 4 of my wheels and tires were out of balance on the whole oval. Unsettling feeling, especially after rebuilding spindles and what have you. You know what I mean? You start to thinking, gee, is this my guy going to end up being a greasy spot on the wall up here? What's going on, right? So we didn't end up racing the kart, but we did obviously we got some good info. We know the thing is super fast. We know from scaling the kart that I, compared to 2013, I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm just going to tell you, I'm 50 pounds heavier than I was in 2013. I was 178 pounds in 2013 when you saw those old Daytona videos running the bone stock, little ICC, little carb. Ran 203 dead, right? Or 203.5, something like that, in a bone stocker. And now we're 60 pounds, me and the cart and everything, a good 60, maybe 70 pounds heavier. With the tail, the radiator in the back, everything. We're a lot heavier than we were back in 2013 when we were down there. And we ran the same top speed. So imagine what kind of speed the cart would have turned this time with 60, 70 pounds of sandbags taken off the cart. I can only imagine. So what I did right away is went across the street to the recreation, what do they call it, the rec center over there, the city's rec center. They got the gym. Was going to the gym before the bug. The bug screwed everything up. Now no mask is needed, none of that. I went back over. The first thing I did on Monday morning on the 3rd is go over to the rec center and signed back up, paid my fee for the year for me and Sherry both, and we're going back to working out every day, minimum an hour on that treadmill. I'm going to work my way up to going straight uphill again. We got to get rid of this chub, and we're eventually going to have to put the cart on a diet too. But if we can knock 30 pounds off the overall weight we had, that's going to make a difference. That's going to make a big difference. So we were happy with the handling of the car, the new brakes and everything. Everything was good with the brakes and all that was good. We just had this off the gas, down changing, back on the gas, bah, and it'd have to downshift, and it was damn near died, just darn near come to a dead stop. I mean, we're slow right down to next to nothing, and then it would start to come back. Like it was fat and it'd clean up. So you'll hear a little bit of it in the only video that I have that turned out, right? I have the 2 other files where I'm going fast. This is the engine break-in video. That's the only one you're going to get to see and hear and ride along and hear the engine. And you'll hear it. I'll put in the description of the video, I'll put the times. If you want to just jump right to what the carburetor isn't doing correctly so you can hear it, you'll be able to hear it at those points. These other 2, I'm running flat out on the oval and working away, tuning on the carburetor a little bit and trying to get that bog out. And what we end up doing is the left-handers turn 1 in the infield and the last corner going back up onto the oval. If we down changed an extra gear, it was spot on. The problem is we had to physically slow down enough so we didn't over rev that gear when we back shift to it. So we were losing a little time. But the right-handers, it would just boom, dead, bah, 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 dead stop all the way down to first gear, ga, 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 and maybe the 15 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. I was barely moving. That's why we didn't race. We didn't want to get run over. 2, we didn't want to embarrass ourselves. And 3, we didn't want to hurt something trying to screw around down there with this whole brand new expensive engine package, right? We know what we have, and if we have to, we'll go back to a float bowl carburetor. Why didn't I put the 30 millimeter carb on? Because the motor's not cut for a 30 millimeter carburetor anymore, and I wouldn't have known where to start with the jetting. I have plenty of history with the 30 millimeter carb, obviously, since 2010. I got 11 years of running a 30 millimeter carb on fixed jetting. The problem is, where do we start? We didn't have enough time. I guess we could have go real big on a jet and go out morning practice. We only got 1 round to practice that morning because it was very foggy. So we'd had to use the race again for practice, and I think it was they moved us to a 45-minute run group. I think they got 24 laps. Man, I had a hard time doing 5 laps of practice. My head was just pounding, hitting those bumps in the infield especially, just terrible. I didn't want to put a helmet back on. I'm going to be honest. I didn't want to go back out, man. That's how bad it was. And you couldn't go around them like bumps in a corner. You just drive off the line. These are in a straight line between the first horseshoe and the kink. Bam! and real bad between the second horseshoe and that left-hander that takes you onto the oval, which we already know that corner's a little rough. You just stay away from the apex and where the big heavy race cars go, and you can buzz right through there relatively unscathed. You'll see where you're going and everything. In that straight line, right before the braking area for that left-hander, it looked like a sinkhole. Like the whole track dropped. When you're in the cart looking, you can see the surface of the track drops and then comes back up. And man, it just gave me a banging headache. And it wasn't fun. And there was certainly no chance in hell I was going to go out there and do it 24 times in a row. So we live to fight another day. The cart's already in storage. We're going to bring you that video as well. That'll be our wrap-up video. But this is just our Happy New Year, getting you ready for a run of probably, it could be 10, 12 videos. Really, we had beautiful weather down here. Christmas Day, we got into town about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was already 82 degrees. And it was 81, 82, 83 degrees and sun every day we were there. And right after we left, it was going to start cooling off and getting raining and crappy. So God bless us with a beautiful vacation, wonderful weather. Couldn't have asked for better weather. So we're not going to complain, man, that our go-kart didn't run. You know, it's all good. It's all good. And we're going to get it worked out. We've already been working. That's what I spent most of the day yesterday doing. Other than running around, getting signed back up for the gym and trying to get a program going to get me back on the keto diet and exercising at the same time to lose this weight quick, was trying to diagnose what went on and trying to find people that have experience with that watercraft carburetor, and I think we found it. So that's it for now. We're going to continue to try to get into these files, these two files. Let me click on show you what happens here. It says, can't play. This file isn't playable. That might be because the file type is unsupported, the file extension is incorrect, or the file is corrupt. I think the damn camera just got shaking, vibrating so bad that it just decided it wasn't going to work, I guess. I don't know, but that's it. If we can find somebody that can open these things, these two files, these are the Go Fast files where we're really running flat to the floor on the oval. I think if the track was smooth, the carburetor ran, the guys during the race, the top two guys, I'm going to say they only ran 2:03, which I know Mitch has run under 2 minutes before. So if they're only running 2:03s, I ran my best lap in practice when the thing was, when I was flat to the floor on the oval, even with the bog darn near coming to a stop, I still ran 2:12. I know that doesn't sound very impressive, but I'm darn near coming to a dead stop twice. There were guys in the unlimited race that didn't run 2:12s on clean laps. So that's a pretty bright spot for us. We're happy with what we found down there. Could we have finished it off? Yeah, maybe not. I did tell everybody, shh, Sherry's out here. Did tell everybody that was going to be my last trip down there. And to be honest, I'll go back and help out. I'll drive down there in a car. Won't even take a go-kart. Would love to go down and help other people get their karts running, like Todd Lorang and Wild Bill and anybody else that we can help, friends. Because I still dig the track. I mean, it's Daytona at Christmas. Who doesn't want to be in Florida at Christmas, right? I'd go back and do that. But if I don't see a paver on the internet, an advertisement about Daytona's infield or whatever getting repaved, I got no interest in driving on that track again until it gets fixed up. So, who knows? Maybe now we push for an MIS test where we can do just the oval, or we can mishmash mock up something using the infield, maybe a little different than the club did when we're there. We can do anything we want. When you rent a place, they'll let you do whatever you want. So maybe we look a little harder into the MIS test now. But this video is going on long enough. I'm going to get you up these videos on YouTube, and I'm going to put this one up first, so it's like an intro to the whole group of crap that's coming. So, Todd Giles, thanks again. Awesome offer to let us hang out if we needed you there in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Between Knoxville and Nashville, I mean, just after Knoxville, we did have a problem with the truck. And we'll bring you that in another video. After all this Daytona stuff's over, we'll let you know what happened on the way out to Grattan in October. It happened to us again on the way down to Daytona, first day of driving. And we got it fixed up. And YouTube helped us. So hang in there, y'all. Godspeed. God bless. We're going to bring you some of this stuff. The interviews from the handheld first, though. God bless. Godspeed. Hang in there, y'all. We're praying for you.